Hey guys, it's Slimmy. So in my last video, we talked about the state of rivals at the time and how it's rapidly declining in player counts, along with the hero balancing issues. Well, NetEase just dropped Season 2.5 and it's massive. New buffs, nerfs, bug fixes, and a whole lot of drama. But the real question is, does it actually fix what people have been complaining about? Well, let's break it down. Before we do any of that though, I just wanted to quickly point out that a very small majority of people who watch my content are actually subscribed. So if you want to, of course, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Anyways, let's get back to the review. So in Season 2.5, they decided to nerf a ton of dive characters, like they really went after them. Let's start with Iron Fist, for example. So they've actually nerfed the amount of bonus health that he gets when blocking damage from a rate of 1.5 to 1.3. This now means he can get a total of 175 health instead of this previous 200 health. I definitely like this personally. It makes him less of an unkillable diver. Definitely a good thing in my opinion here though. They also nerfed his kick when there's no enemy in front of you. This just means like his movement from getting to point A to point B will be slower. So if you're trying to get from spawn to point, for example, that's going to take you just a little bit longer. This also means that he can't really fly like he used to. He's more stuck to the ground, which I guess can be considered, yeah, it's a pretty big nerf. Finally though, they reduced his cooldown for his block when primary firing from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. This basically means that every time he hits with his basic melee, it reduces the block by 1 second every time instead of 1.5 seconds. Overall, I think they nerfed him into the ground. Like Iron Fist is like crazy bad now. A lot of people on Reddit are saying they just Iron Fist feels dead. And honestly, like I agree, he's pretty bad right now. I don't really think that we'll be seeing him as often in Season 2.5 now rather than Season 2. Now let's talk about Psylocke. Oh dear, oh Psylocke. Since Season 0, Psylocke actually got 0 nerfs or buffs. NetEase just like they completely forgot about her. She was one of, if not maybe the best dive / assassin type character in the game. They nerfed her retrieval damage of her shurikens from 14 to 12 per hit. This doesn't seem like a lot, but it now means that you can't do her one-shot combo on 275 HP targets, not unless you headshot them at the beginning, which, let's be honest, if you've ever played Psylocke, headshotting with Psylocke is pretty difficult to do. They've also decreased the amount of time that you can go invisible from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. This just means it'll be harder for you to plan your next move since you have a lot less time to react. You have a second less to react. I definitely think Psylocke now is still pretty good, especially in this new Flyers meta since her primary attack is hit scan and it's really good against characters like Iron Man, Storm, Ultron, those type of people. Now Starlord. Starlord actually got a buff here. His ult now costs 3,400 energy instead of the previous 3,100. This just means it'll take him 10% longer to get his ult, but they gave his ult a maximum range of 40 meters instead of 30 meters, with a damage fall off at 75% at 40 meters. This, like in my opinion, just means Starlord is way more busted now since you can just snipe people with his ult. I don't think anybody at all have asked for a Starlord buff, but NetEase just decides to give him one anyways. Now Jeff. Oh poor Jeff. Jeff's been known to be a dive DPS instead of a healer for like since Season 0. Since the beginning of the game. NetEase took this into consideration and well they just destroyed Jeff, kind of. His primary fire now does damage to enemies while being able to heal his teammates. His bubbles are now healing over time rather than a quick burst of healing. And yeah, they don't do knockback damage anymore, and you only get 3 of them. His secondary fire now does knockback, but you only get 3 shots that are now on a cooldown instead of being able to reload them. His dive is on a timer as well, so that means you can't stay under the ground for so long. But they did increase the damage reduction when receiving a headshot from 50% to 70%, which now means it's basically just impossible to like kill Jeff from headshots. You're gonna have to like, it does the same as doing a body shot basically. They also increased how long it takes to get ult from 4,000 to 4,500. Oh yeah, he also has like a Sharknado team up with Storm, but we don't talk about that. But the Jeff mains, they're in like a civil war right now. Some of them are saying that he's unplayable, like the dive Jeff mains, and others are saying that he's just being rebalanced into a real support. Overall, these characters have gotten nerfs, while characters like Squirrel Girl, Namor, Hela, and Hawkeye, they all got buffs. And don't even get me started with Ultron. His damage capability as a support, bro, it's oh my god. Honestly, in my opinion, this really confirms that NetEase are trying to move away from dive comps and reward more team-oriented poke playstyles, like Hela and Hawkeye, for example. It also seems like they're trying to slow down the pace of fights and reduce solo carry potential, which I don't know, is that a good thing? I guess like time will tell. Okay, let's talk about EOMM for a second. I saw this comment that made a pretty good point on how people complain about EOMM, but you are actually the problem and not EOMM. He then brought up a pretty good point on a streamer called Awkward going from bronze to GM in 6 hours with a 100% win rate. This really opened up my perspective about the whole situation. So first off, yes, EOMM exists. NetEase isn't the only company that has it. COD, Apex, Overwatch, they all have it. They use matchmaking designed to maximize your engagement, not necessarily your skill expression. So you're not crazy for feeling like you're getting easier matches after losing a bunch or suddenly getting teammates that feel like bots. That's just part of how it works. But here's the thing, just because EOMM is real doesn't mean it's the only reason why your heart's stuck in plat or silver or whatever. There are streamers like Awkward or J3 who go from bronze to celestial in like 6 to 10 hours, and they do so with high win rates. That's not luck, that's just experience, that's skill, that's knowledge. Here's an example. Have you ever made a new account or a Smurf account and climbed fast, like really fast? Like let's say you were diamond and you made a Smurf and you're in bronze and you just got immediately out of bronze. That's literally proof that it's possible. The system may delay your climb, but doesn't completely block you if you're outperforming your rank. So the reality is somewhere in the middle. EOMM might throw some unfair matches your way, but blaming everything on the system, that's just a trap. Because then you stop improving, you stop VOD reviewing, you stop trying to get better aim, better positioning, better game sense. If you're serious about climbing, here's the real advice. Acknowledge that matchmaking can screw you sometimes, but don't let it be your excuse and focus on what you can control. If you're good enough, you'll break through. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. What do you guys think though? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you all for coming and watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.